Hey guys, it's Carissa here, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Inky Fairy Designs. Today is Wednesday, so that means Watercolor Wednesday, and today I am sharing some mail art that I did this past weekend, participating in something called Good Mail Monday, and you can find out more about that by searching that hashtag on Instagram, and I'll have some links to the gals that are kind of hosting this whole thing. But basically, I got wind of it from I think it was Paints and Letters. I think that's the Instagram handle, and she's a watercolor curator on Etsy. And it was just basically, let's send some pretty mail art for the month of February. Every Monday, send out a piece of mail, and you'll be in a group with like other people. And I apologize for this. My camera was like really having a hard time to focus, but I think it gets better. But anyway, so I thought it would be fun to do this. And basically, I have never, ever, ever decorated an envelope before. You know, I make cards and all that, but I've never decorated an envelope. I've seen Christina Werner's videos, mail art videos, and they're gorgeous and inspiring. And they definitely inspired me with this first mail art, and then I'm going to actually pull out some stamps for some other ones that I'll have coming up. But yeah, it was just a lot of fun, and I don't know who this is going to. It's not anybody that I know. It's kind of like a pen pal, you know, you don't know who you're writing to. And I thought it would be fun to include something nice inside the envelope. So I gave her one of my handmade cards, and then I also decided to do a little bit of watercolor lettering with a fun, inspirational, positive quote. Because that's another thing that I'm really kind of trying to work on this year is just my hand lettering and kind of just things that make me happy. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm sharing. And I love how this turned out. I'm using those Brea Reese watercolors. I'll have a iCard up here. You can look at my review on those, but that's what I use for that. So what I did for my envelope is I went ahead and I masked off with some Molotow masking fluid where I want to put the address for the recipient. And now that that's dry, and so I kind of did that, and then while that was drying, because I didn't want to heat set it with my heat tool, I heard that's like a bad thing to do, so I just let that dry naturally while I did my lettering. So that's kind of the order that I did. Now I'm pulling out my Designs by Rachel Beth watercolors. Those are the watercolors that I'm really loving that I'm getting from Etsy. And I'm just doing some really loose watercolor florals around the little rectangle that I created so that it kind of looks like a frame. And honestly, it's been a really long time since I've watercolored florals, and like seriously anything else, if you don't use it, you lose it. So I feel like these are really, really rough florals, very abstract. Use your imagination. There is no reference for them. I just put down some, like half circles and drew out the color with some water, and now I drew in some leaves and some vines and leaves. Just trying to kind of fill in some of that space with the different colors. I'm using that Succulent Garden and Dark Forest set again. I really love these two palettes that I recently got, and they're just so dark and moody, and it's winter, so I'm not really feeling like the whole bright color palette yet. That's more going to be spring and summer, so I'm just working with what inspires me, and I just love the colors in these two palettes. So, I just decide where I want to draw a vine, add some leaves just by pressing down my paintbrush. I am using the silver black velvet brushes again, and I think for this one I used a number 8 round. But that's really, really simple, all I did. And I brought in this really pale blue from another of her palettes called Winter Wonderland, and just kind of filled in the rest of that white space so that it just kind of filled the whole front of that envelope. So I really enjoyed doing it. I have an example on my Instagram page of, I was playing around with this idea of watercoloring some florals. And this, what I'm watercoloring on, it was a pack, and I believe it's Strathmore, but I don't know for sure because I don't have the top part of the packaging. I just have the bottom part where it's a set of watercolor cards and envelopes. And I believe it's Strathmore. Don't know. But it worked well. You can see it warped with the amount of water that I used. To remove the masking fluid, I used like one of those sticky eraser kind of type things. And I think it was from Thermoweb, the one that I used. And so I decided I wanted to decorate the back. I actually just wanted to try more florals. And this was kind of more of the design that I did in my first envelope, was like this cluster of 3 flowers and then some leaves and vines kind of coming out from that. So I wanted to kind of decorate the back of my envelope with that, and just really the front and the back is all decorated. And then I have a spot on the flap where I can put my return address. And hopefully it goes through. Like I said, I've never done this before. I watched Christina Werner's video. I'll put a link here where she kind of answers some questions on mail art, because she does it all the time and mails them and has really good success. And so hopefully I'm keeping my fingers crossed that these actually make it to the recipients, because it was a lot of fun to do, and I'm excited to kind of do some more envelopes and send out more cards this year. I would like to do that. So for the addressing, I pulled out my Tombow food pen. I think it's a little bit longer than that, but I'm just going to call it the food pen, and it's the hard tip. And I just wrote her name there. It was okay for me to put her name on social media and the video and everything, but I'm not going to write her address because that's private. So, but there's the 2 things. And for the lettering on that, I just cut the cards that were in this set in half, the watercolor cards, and so that I could use another half for another card, another quote at some time. So here's some close-ups. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's kind of different for me, and it's watercolor, so I thought it would be great for today. If you did, give me a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe here in the middle. I'll put a link to my other watercolor videos here as well for you to check out, and I'll see you guys on Saturday for Stamp Stash Saturday. Bye.